Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Opus Magnum. Let's continue. So next puzzle, or next visual novel storyline, then puzzle. This is vexing. We're still at House Van Tassen. Were we still at House Van Tassen, I could supply you immediately with any length of rope. And in a variety of widths and colors too. I hardly need anything so extravagant. I can make something better anyway. You don't need to create everything, Anataeus. No, it's fine. I have an idea for the fiber. For how the fiber should work. It's possible the alchemist is rather enjoying himself. So, we have to make the rope for the thief. What kind of thief is this at that point that is just so poorly equipped that he doesn't even have a rope? This is another one of these long fibers, which we've done once before, and I kind of enjoy the idea of it just going on forever. Although in this case, which this barely even takes, I mean, there's really no reason why this should be this long. This doesn't quite make it make sense as much as it probably should, that there should be a salt here and a salt here, and it should just go on forever, but whatever. So we'll just put this on the far left. In fact, we'll even just move it a little over there. And this could only be slightly more efficient if it was it would be just slightly more efficient if it was depicted, if we had a 3-line connector, but we don't, so whatever. Let's see. Is there a better way to squeeze all this together? And here. And use that one, and use that one. And you would think almost in other games, you would almost assume that there would be some kind of limitation on how much you could pick up and move. But in this case, I don't think they really had to think that far ahead, so yeah, there's kind of nothing to that. I'm just gonna go ahead and line up everything. I wonder if there would have been potentially some efficiency that you could improve here. But I think we'll go with cheapest as our answer to start with. And just try to make the absolute cheapest possible item. Take it all the way to that point. And actually, I think it only needs to take it that far. And I think it only needs to take it that far. So, cheapest. Replace that with that. Alright. Let's see how this works. Pick up. Extend. And then 2 minuses. And then a reset. This is not going to be efficient in cycles. And then another pick up and then this time retract with a minus, and then a reset, and then it is just pick up 1, 2, 3, and then reset. And I believe that is all we need. Nope, almost. One more minus. And this should, for the most part, be almost the smallest area too. You have to produce 6, which we've produced 3 so far. 4. It feels like this has taken more than, it's made more than 6. It feels like it's making me make 12. So cost wise, let's start with, well, let's start with area first of all. Area is fairly simple. I just move this here so it doesn't hover over a new area, and move that. And honestly, I think that is all we would really need to do. Is there possibly another way to take up less area? Because you still have these 3 squares in which it's hovering over. So maybe there would be a way to reduce the number of areas it would go over. Yeah. Let's see. Let's actually go back and see. What can I do to reduce cost? That's the more interesting question than getting the area a little bit smaller. Because I do think there probably is a way in which you could get the area a little bit smaller. Probably by doing something like putting this here and then using this in a different way. Like if we need a 3, could we get that 3? Let's see. Make this merge, rotate the merge, and put it here. Maybe rotate and pivot that directly onto that. So let's see, go and get rid of this code, for instance. Instead, start with this code. And then once that's resetted, just pivot one and then reset. So no. Put that here. Reset. Didn't do that much. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. So that manages to not use up too much space. Now, how do we craft the next thing? Because that's what's going to be the hassle. Yeah, I think this just kind of oddly overcomplicates things. But whatever. Okay. Then you would pick up one, then you would move negative, then you'd let go, then you would move negative, and then you would pivot this way. And that might be all that needs to happen. See. I think we may need another negative here. I'm hoping that's the right move. Nope. Yeah, it's very easy to get into these mindsets of just winging it instead of thinking things through or having that like full mentality. And that creates scenarios where you just haven't put all your code, and so then you end up testing a lot more often. Okay. So the pivot needs to be the other direction, but I think we've got this. Here, here, here. And pivot, and then I think we need a reset. Hmm. Yep, but then you have a problem. So, in an effort to solve that problem and create this infinite connecting issue, they would have to be here instead. We'd have to move this here, here, and here. And I think that might be it, but the odds are actually extremely low that that actually is the case. Right. Drop. Actually, don't drop. Come back and bring it back one. And then drop. And then go negative. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm really saving any space here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, now we're resetting. So here, here. Pivot, release, go, negative, 2 more, pick up, then go, positive, 2, So what I think we have to do is have this one further. Go ahead and get rid of that. That's not what I meant to mark. I meant to use these as markers. Which at a certain point, if you're trying to save space, probably just do this and then do this, and then when this does pivot, should be one further. Yeah, do we really need to bring it back, or could we just pivot? Take that. Yeah. This one's the move back, isn't it? Instead, just let go and move forward. Probably not even 2 to grab. that, then pivot, then do the rest of this. Okay, so now let go. Grab this one and bring it back to. Which is not just let go, it's go back one and let go. See how that works. Goes back 1, 2, and then it needs to again, I guess, let go, then go back one, and then pick one up, and then needs to go forward 1, 2, I think 3. Yeah, you can once again just see how crazy this code is getting in an effort just to save physical space. Just how much code has to happen here. That's where we want to go. Okay. But there's a mistake here, and I'm gonna have to try and find it. That works there. That works there. Grabbing that, bringing it back one, and spinning is kind of unnecessary, but whatever. Yeah. Get rid of that. Let's see. Pivot. And then put a plus here. And maybe we need a negative there. Probably not. Yeah, we do need another negative here. We've got it wrong. And there's just so many steps you have to jump through here. And I suppose there is a different mode where I could have one finger on the keyboard, one hand on the keyboard, and try and memorize what these buttons do. But honestly, feels like having the keyboard key so prominent and focused on would only really make sense for somebody that was potentially a using like a tool assisted speed run or programming some other program to play the game for you. And this is probably a game where a tool assisted speed run could be fairly efficient and quick. Alright, well, before we hit play, let's ask the question that we should probably ask is the overlap of this necessary? Probably not. We could squeeze this back to this point, but that would complicate everything, rewriting all that code. This is an area of 53. And we run into a problem. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Probably need another negative here. If I put one, pick this first bit of code up and put it here, and then pick that up, pick the next one and put it here, and then moved it into the way, probably would take up less code and save money. Yeah, but that just totally overly complicates things. Let's not do that. I think we're gonna immediately have to jump into the realm of theory instead of actual practical application of this thought, because this is going to get ridiculous. See, it pushes it backwards. Which means there's one too many pluses. It shouldn't push it backwards. So yeah, I should let go, then move one. And we could save money by getting rid of one of the ledges of calcification. Like nothing stops you from really speeding that along and spinning it in a 360 circle instead of simply doing a 180 or 90 degree turn. Oddly, this does not feel like it speeds up, or if it does speed up, it speeds up kind of way too late in the game, where this would definitely be something you would want to see sped up way quicker. And you definitely have to ask where the real efficiency here is. Let's see, that was 53 before it was 55 as far as area. Although cost is still too high. Like, so 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that one. Area-wise, that still would be used. There. That saves you one of the calcifications. Next step, if we spin this full way, would be to ask, can we start here instead and get rid of this and this, which I've already started making changes, which is a shame because I probably should have kind of waited. Basically what you're going to do is pick up and then extend and then minus. Oh no, not there though. Way at the beginning. Pick up. Extend minus and then reset. And then pick up. Extend. And then drop. Minus. You know what? We don't actually need to do all that, do we? Pick up, extend, and then just minus. Should be maybe all we need. Then pick up here and extend and drop. And I don't care about cycles, so I'm not even going to bother to try and close this gap because it would take so much effort. Okay. Problem, though, we run into now is that in an effort to save space and save money, I have now created another problem. And this problem would stay the same even if I put it over here. Okay. I don't think that changes too much though. We just add a minus here, and a minus here. We still may be on track. Hmm. And that's a cost of 85 gold and an area of 49. And yeah, I don't really see something else that you could do unless you're doing something crazy where you're keeping something on top of the spawning element each time until you want a new earth molecule or air molecule. I think that's earth molecules. Like, yeah. There's no way that you would connect this using less area. Yeah, so we have gotten the least amount of area. How do you get the cost down then? If that's area, what could you possibly do to get the cost down? Let's see. This, like, you theoretically could maybe place things in a slightly different way so that there was just a heck of a lot more spinning going on. Let's see, you cannot spin these. So at the end of the day, this would have to be here. But you could potentially have something that would, say, pick up this, spin the whole thing, this ever increasing chain down this way, and then back this way. So if I just rotated, and there's no good way to do this, if I rotated all the code practically so that the final products were here and this end of the connection ended here like that. Yeah, you would have to have that, like that, that like that, that, and that, and that. And what would happen next is we would need this to possibly pick up and put there. You still have a problem of then getting the other one in the right place. By doing things that way, you can then replace this code. But I would at that point also have to completely rewrite the code. Like, you'd have to pick up one here, you'd have to then drag this here, then you'd have to go back here, pick up this. When you pick up that, then you probably would just drag it back this direction now, taking up another space, I bet. And if you're going to take up that other space, you might straight up just go for that too. Which means maybe you wouldn't use this square. But yeah, you really are being absurd, to say the least. And when everything is said and done, this has to be at the right angle. Otherwise it's gonna fail fairly miserably. Get rid of the extend arm, pick up, and then instead rotate, and then reset. Next bit of code would be pick up. Are we moving towards positive at that point? Rotate. And then possibly just rotate the whole thing again in that direction. It kind of doesn't even matter. I shouldn't be using these glyphs to mark where things are. Yeah. 2 and 3. Here. Reset. Let's just see how that goes. Put one there. Put one there. Rotate that. Take that. Pick up. Rotate. Pick up, rotate. Then drop, and then go plus, and then pick up. Let's see, we're just having to leave a marker just so we can see the old code versus the new code. Yep, and that's a problem, certainly. Is that a problem you could get around? Maybe, but the way it seems like you probably would get around that is to just further emphasize and move things up and take more space out. Let's see, take that to that. Yep. So when we pick this one up, if we were to then take this here, would that crash into the center one? Possibly. If we were to pick this one up and we were to go in opposite directions, that would crash into things. Certainly. Is there possibly more logic in squeezing everything closer together? I think not. Is there possibly more logic in squeezing things further apart? Possibly. Yeah. If we had a big swing arm here, it feels like that wouldn't collide with anything. And give you more room. Then we'd have to move that further up. I guess the question just becomes, can you manipulate enough things out of the way, particularly if we get rid of that, since we're looking for the least amounts of space. No, it still crashes. Which means I would need something more. Something like that, maybe. Maybe something like this. Well, that was the right move, I just went in the wrong direction. Okay. Pivot. And then go back in spots. And it would be at this point where we would probably would have wanted to just do the 3 spins. And that almost certainly is not the right pivot. So we probably need to do another pivot at minimum. And then you get the pivot right, your next step, you would be here. Your next step would be to let go, go here, rotate and grab. Grab. And then after you grabbed, you would just rotate back, let go, go one, pick up, go back one, and then rotate. And that may be the rest of the code. Let's see if that works. We do have to start on the right spot though. Well, that definitely won't work. It's a shame we can't find a different way to not have this one piece. We missed something there. What went wrong on the second cycle? Just rotate and then another minus, then grab. There we go. So in this case we're using an area of 68, but the cost is 55 gold. Is there a way to use less money? If it is, it's going to be down to 50 gold. We are not using anything other than a fixed length arm and 3 tracks. And the only reason we're even using 3 tracks is because we have what feels like bad code to move there. Right. Okay. It's this point that we want to change. So, how can we get this to swing so it doesn't hit this? Probably this way. Swing arm here. And a swing arm there. Something like that. And something like that. Hmm. And yeah, it's just not controllable. It's really not manageable. This code is too long of a line. Hmm. Well, you clear one thing and then immediately you have the next thing that needs to be cleared. That would still be a collision and a collision. And somehow that's still a collision. Is it possible it's this? I don't think so. Probably is something like this. But is there another way to do something like this instead of having 3 tracks? I might be just thinking too big, really. That might be the case, is that if this was just like this, and then somehow we figured out a way to pivot this. Yeah, I guess you could just pivot the whole thing, couldn't you? Is this worth doing the code for yet again? Rotate, rotate, drop. Pick up. No, I don't think this works though, because once we get that one long line ready to go, everything's just going to be in the way too much. Yes, I could pivot. So maybe you do something like that. That's not right. Would there be any way with a fixed arm and no track to get the pieces to 2 places though? I think no. I think I have to get back to that idea. And if I can grab this at this point, then it means it also would collide with that at that point. Yeah, I don't care to spend any more energy on that puzzle. Like, just to try and get the cost down really, really cheap. And as far as cycles go, we got the area at the smallest, and the area seems to be the one we're really succeeding at the best. We didn't really cover the idea of what you would do to just improve this process, and it's not that difficult to really figure out what you would do. You would simply have several lines just ready to go. And see, and I'm not even going for a conveyor belt concept here. I'm going for a more simplistic, just chain of movers. Let's see. So this one here, and then this one here, and then this one here, and 4 may very well not do anything at all. And then we, I think, have to stagger this and see how this works. Nope. We're gonna need a bit more of a stagger. Bit more of a stagger. And we're gonna have to obviously make some adjustments. Start by getting rid of 4 just for our visuals' sake. Since there are only 3 items being used, adding a 4th item would be just the beginning of copying all of this. So it does something faster. Grab 1. I think the problem here is going to come from little twists in expansions and retractions, little changes. Let's just go ahead and line up all of these. I think we could probably do this faster. And this is the last one we want to do. So move that code. See how that works. The code may very well be able to overlap a lot more than I think it can. Yep. But the problem here with this is the next step is definitely going to be the idea of doubling up and creating a conveyor belt. There's no way around it. You would have to create a full loop, which for number 2 would really just be that. And this one would be the bigger hassle, certainly going around in circles. And this one would just be that. Yeah. Let's see. We need, well, let's see if we can isolate the exact spot that we'd need to start working on it again. We would need at this point to have this item probably here in the next step, ready to go, which it kind of is. So there's no real problem with 2. So maybe you wouldn't even need to replace 2 with another loop. That being said, 2 would then need to repeat. And then this one, maybe we don't need a second part there either. Nope. So you could save at least one cycle, one step, or having another one of these just ready to go. Also, you could probably save some gold by replacing that with a fixed length arm and replacing that with a fixed length arm, since we're not extending on those. So 4 would have to be just a slightly delayed carbon copy. And honestly, for the first time, repeating that code is not particularly that hard. Whereas usually it's just an insane thought of repetition. Of course, reset now would have to be replaced with a whole bunch of pluses. Maybe we have to delay that a little bit further. And then have to delay it a little bit further. Yeah. And this is just overly complicating everything. These shouldn't be pluses. These should be minuses. Still, we should be going in the same direction. And I forgot to put a drop. Still too fast. Still too fast. Still too fast. Yeah. And then it would just be a matter of, are you really saving any cycles by doing this? Because the next step would be to do another one of these and another one of these, and to bring in yet another fixed length arm object, and then put one here, put one here, and then put one right in line with, think about this point, or I guess maybe it lines up with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if you could write this as a function, this would be much more understandable and reasonable. Yeah. It seems like what you have to do is you have to find your spots, and as soon as I put in some more repetition, it didn't seem like that lined up quite right. Yeah, and I just don't want to hassle with this, but that is what I assume you would do to reduce the cycles. Let's look at the story. Who knew that creating rope could be so fascinating? It's not something I imagine they teach at alchemy school. Strong and resilient, yet light and easy to carry. I say a better rope has never before been created. He's really quite absorbed. It's a shame most alchemists think work like this is beneath them. Imagine how different the world would be if we applied ourselves to problems like this one. Okay. So, it's only been an hour, so I'm going to pause this recording, take a little bit of a break, and then come back. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's do warming tonic. This warming potion isn't just alcohol, is it? No, alcohol doesn't actually warm the body. It only creates the illusion of warmth. What's that you're talking about? It's a long story and nothing to concern yourself with. He made alcohol for someone and called it a courage potion. And yet he still refuses to make alcohol for me. The man I made the alcohol for was preparing to fight to his death. You, on the other hand, are supposed to live. For a while yet, I should hope. Yeah, this new character, this new thief character, I was not expecting him to really end up being a third person we interact with. It seems like they're desperately trying to have a much bigger cast of characters than a game like this can really justify having. It's kind of crazy. In all fairness, there should just be Cordelia Lim as a romantic interest at most, and then the potential just occasional character that is mentioned. Okay. So, we once again don't have all the glyphs we would like to have. So, I kind of assume that part of the solution would be something along this lines. And I think the kind of simplified way to do this would be to do something like this. Just put one down here, have a piece here, maybe even have your solution down here. And I wonder if you have to, since the center here part has to also be calcified, if you kind of have to do something like that. Or maybe you just choose to do something like that. This one and this one. Although honestly, I don't know if this isn't just there's an easier solution. Something that maybe even as crazy as just grabbing all three of these items and making a pattern. Yeah. Let's get a little bit crazier with it. Let's say we want this pattern. That way this pattern would then be pushed through here to turn into that pattern. Okay. And then we also want this pattern over on this side. Which, if we had a 6-way that changed things, that would kind of work. But it kind of doesn't. Yeah, and so this is getting, I think, fairly crazy fairly quickly. This may just be too much optimization for its own good. Honestly. Okay. This one to grab and pull works. But this one to grab and pull doesn't work. So, could we can we grab something and swing? Not quite. We can grab that one and swing. Okay. So can we grab the last piece and swing? Pull and swing. Or yeah. Is there a better system for this? Though. Yeah, this definitely feels like this. He's just overly complicating it quite a bit. And then next. If we put this here. Probably would have to do something similar to this. Like put one there. Yes. This one could grab that and pull. This one can grab this, pull back and swing here. And then this one. I feel like this is going to probably collide with something. And yeah, we could probably put one directly on that spot as long as we spin backwards after everything has been grabbed and moved. So rotate, not pivot, rotate 3 times. First bit of code written. And then how do we connect these two monstrosities? No, I think that's where the code falls apart, and where you would just say, let's abandon this idea and start over from scratch. Like, because that just gets too crazy trying to figure out how to put something like on a track or something that you could then figure out how to have this piece grab and in any way swing. You basically would have to have this piece and then have it swing all the way around here, and then you would have to have a whole nother arm ready to grab it at like a different point. And yeah, you would probably have to have an extension arm just like ready to grab this and then somehow pivot it. And so probably this extension arm would actually have to be fairly far away to grab it from that point, pivot it, and get it to connect. Yeah, and that's just asking way too much. Not that I don't think there is a solution there, just that you're not chasing a goal in any good way towards efficiency in area and space taken up, efficiency in cost, or efficiency in cycles. You're just trying to do something really overly complicated for flashy reasons. Alright. This once again runs into the issue of the challenges not being particularly that challenging if you know what you're doing. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's put this here and put this here. Okay. Let's start with a mainline track and 2 shorter support tracks. And I don't think any of these actually have to be anything. One is going to pick up it's going to move 2 steps to the left. It's going to then I think just reset. I don't think we have to do anything else with 1. 2. Is gonna need some help. So actually 1's gonna have to go here, 2's gonna go up here, and then our main track will be the one in the middle. Okay. And that one only needs to go that far. That one only needs to go that far. Two is going to do the exact same thing at the exact same time. Then 3 is going to do the exact same thing up to the first 3 steps. And then it's going to go back from this point to this point, and probably another point is necessary, and then reset. Just dropping that, showing us that this, and here and here are all going to be used up in area. It only needs to get this far, so I'm going to start with that. Now, these two can repeat, but possibly need to wait a little while until they actually do repeat. And the middle one is going to go and pick up and do just 2 twists. And this is not gonna work. We're gonna have to reorient this quite a bit. So we're gonna, like, the thing I'm not even thinking about here is the fact that these 3 are totally in the way of this. But so, next step in the process would be to have these, have this ready to go in a different direction. So let's start with that. Swap this out. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. Then that. Means we don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. And at some point we do need to spin and pivot things. 1, 2, 3. It's probably at that point. Let's see. That resets to that. Now this pick should just go 1, 2. And we shouldn't need any of the pivots. That's almost exactly what we need. So, what is the next step? It's gotta be flipping it around, or not flipping it around. If it's not flipping it around, then I think you run into a problem. We need it to flip around and rotate. Now, I feel like there is just a more efficient way this would go. But we'll see. Drop to the negative. Pick it up. Rotate. 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 And then negative 1, 2. I'm gonna say 4. That could be a little too far. And then positive. And then a reset. See, so that hits this one and this one, adding a couple spots. Maybe that one, maybe 3 spots in total. Then you have a couple of things here extra. What just happened there? How did it go from being right to wrong? Oh, it just straight up lines up perfectly on this one, which actually I think means we probably don't need this one. Let's try that. Let's go ahead and label everything that is being used and touched. And it never goes any further than Come on. Here, I think. We stumbled into a solution here that I really wouldn't have thought of. Not in a reasonable amount of time. And see. Let's copy this. Okay, I think you actually don't need this one or this one. So if we're just trying to reduce cost, I think that's probably it. I think it's worth, yeah, but you see, there's something here that's really cheap and something here that's really cheap. I think it's also worth mentioning that only 50%, 50.9% people have won a single game of Sigmund's Garden as far as the achievements, which highlights how pathetic the completion ratio can be for some of the people who play video games, and it's just frankly laughable. But it also kind of highlights that Sigmund's Garden is not particularly a big draw. Okay. If we were to do this instead, we can save a little bit of gold. Which, at a certain level, I don't know. If maybe it wouldn't be better to say have something like this right next to it. But this would certainly incredibly slow down the process as far as trying to save gold. I mean, yeah. If we get rid of this one, get rid of this one, get rid of this one, and then we have one, say, repeat a lot faster and twice as often. Let's see. We'd have to put a break and get everything timed perfectly. And then you'd have to try and bump more pivots in. Just put a lot of work on that one character. Let's see. And if anything, what I'm doing now is I'm just writing code to make the start point and end point of the next part of code the same, which is not really the way I would want to see people write code, because that is an admission that you're doing things the bodgy way instead of doing things the way you would want to do it, which is just rewriting the code, establishing a new set of standards, and holding yourself to that new set of standards. So you would make the 3 here, but what you probably would have to do is either have an extendable arm, and change your track, which is probably the right move here. It would be to do this and then replace it with that. And then have all of your code on one single item, moving things around. At some point he would spin it so it would face. There would be one here, here, and here, making this pattern, and then there would be one here, here, and here, facing that pattern, and you would, I guess, take your extendable arm, which probably would be closer to something like this. And then, yeah, you would have to be fairly careful about using these components as you spun things around. Let's see, that spinning around would hit that. Is there any scenario where this spinning around wouldn't hit that? Yes, it would hit that, so you probably don't want to do that. Probably do want just this gap here. And then I guess the next ultimate question would be, if you bothered to put in all the code to solve this, which I'm not sure, I don't think I want to do, how can you make this code here take less space? Maybe by doing something like that, because yeah, we would already have assumed that these pieces would have been used, but maybe there's a way in which you could put everything together and put all 3 pieces here and rest them on that. Particularly if you worked more in the region of having pieces down here and they can't collide with the arm, so you still would have to be spinning, but if you could make it so it just spun on this one, and this one, and avoided the touching of these tiles. There might be something to that. But it would be such a nightmare. see. Pick up. Minus. Minus. Reset. Yeah. And again, it is really just showing how completely uncontrollable and unwieldy this code is. It's not just that I'm writing bad code, which in all fairness I might be writing slightly bad code, but nonetheless there's really things here that if you had just even done a little bit of QA testing, you would have almost certainly recognized. Let's see, we probably have to move these items this direction. Let's see, 1, 2, and it's at this point the pivot should stop, and we should go get another thing. Here. Just reset. And then you would pick up minus reset. It's one extra pivot too many. And instead of resetting at that point, you would actually just let go and then extend and go plus, and then grab. And so you've got that piece ready to go. So at that point, minus, let's just drag all this code even further that way. And then pivot it. So now it should be facing in this general direction and should be kind of like in that angle. And so extend and drop. I almost feel like you could rotate and drop, because you'd be holding this one here. You could extend and it would be in the wrong place, or you could rotate. Is this really saving you space? Probably not much. If it is. Might be saving you money. You pivot there. You still would have to extend. So it would be on that piece. And there. It also means you cover this entire area. Where kind of feels like it might just be more efficient to drag it that way. Yeah, but I don't want to work on this anymore. Let's reset this back to its starting position. The general first step here is coded. It wouldn't be much difference. Well, that much of a difference to do the code a second time. It'd be really nice still if you could move the calcification items out of the way. Let's go ahead and copy here. And then like cycles, I think you fairly obviously know where cycles would end up going. As far as trying to make this as efficient as possible. If you didn't have the limitations of bonding, this would actually be very fast, but since we do, here, here, and here, just all immediately ready to try and fill the binder together. But the fact that you have two of these and only one of these is going to be something that slows you down. Let's see. I feel like that's going to be in the way, though. Yeah. Put one here, be ready to put it there. Put one here. Well, actually, suppose it's more likely you're going to put one here, ready to put that there, and put one there, ready to put that there. Meanwhile, you're going to probably have a looping cycle here, just ready to grab and go. Yeah. Arguably, best case scenario, you're going to have just these two, and having 3 and 1, like pushing another thing in the corners is not necessary. You would instead just potentially have a double up here just to increase efficiency of getting all those pieces in the spot as quickly as possible. Then you would bring your half configured design over this direction, and then you would spin it, and since it would be in this shape when it's spun, it would hit this, so that's not going to happen, so you'd have to bring it over here and spin it, and yeah, at that point that probably means that's not necessary. And ironically, this may be a fairly small amount of space you're going to use also. But once again, we get down to the idea of give me functions or give me death as a phrase that I'm coining at this point. Is like, if I could somehow hit this and then hold control and hit this and then highlight both, or hold control shift and click on both so both are selected like that, that's good. But now what do? Like, because both are selected, can I drop one on that? No, that just did the control shift. Can I drop one and hope that they are in the same place? Doesn't seem like it's working. And everything except for 5, oddly, really is just going to be pick up one, extend, and then reset. Pick up, extend, and reset, with a slight difference being a staggering. So I can kind of guesstimate that if I just stagger it here, there's a decent chance that'll be right. Otherwise, you're going to run into the problem of trying to debug and trying to find the one that is out of order as far as the 6 pistons here. 6 pistons before I even get the main piston and the main code that would take this a lot further. Yeah. So you just get this error. Error number 4. So maybe they all have to be staggered a little bit more. But oddly, 6 and 2 are on top of each other. Let's see, make 6 number 1, then make that number 2. And then make 6 number 3, and make 4 number 4. But then you just have the next stop, which is we have to have the next thing ready to go. 7 has to be able to grab probably at this point and start moving out of the way. And that means each of these have to be staggered one more step forward to give more time. And I don't even know what's going wrong here. Seems like 3 and 4 are conflicting and fighting. When they really shouldn't be. I think this really shows just how incredibly complicated this is going to get. Let's see, rotate 1, 2, 3 pivots. And we are approaching a point where we need to start thinking about making an 8. But the 8 would also copy every single bit of code on the 7, which again, if it was a function, that would be much more reasonable. Nope. Now we just found like a conflict here. If we want to use less money, we would have to take more time. If we want to be more efficient, we would have to use more money and more space. You can't do both. This would pivot this way. Actually, only some of this code is the same, come to think of it. 1, 2, 3. Then maybe just a bunch more pivots for positive movement. This one's too tall. Yep. Okay. There's three-way pivot here, and then you need to go negative and then plus. And a release first. Yep, there actually might not be any more efficiency to this because of the way things are. This actually may not be necessary. Minus. Minus. Plus. Plus. Reset. Okay. Slight problem there in that we didn't get the salt in the middle, but we got everything else in the middle. Rotate and unrotate. Do we have to take up a whole... Would we have to take up a whole nother room? I don't think that works to help you either, though. That probably is smarter. I suppose 3 here. Like swing here and back and then wait. Yeah, I've lost the plot mentally. I think you probably could have one here, particularly if you just had your item like here and here and then here and then Do these reagents actually even cost anything? No, but they take up space. So if you were to get rid of all of this, that gets rid of almost all the code too. But yeah, if you have just a fixed length here, that would start by picking one up and then just rotating quite a bit. One, two. You think another rotation is in order, and then a reset. Okay, so now the question would be, how do you get that one to the right place? It's probably not too hard, just by setting that to pick one up and then rotate in the other place, and then I don't even know if you really need to drop it. So, pick up, rotate once that way, and then twice that way. And reset. Problem, of course, becomes fairly obvious as this goes along, though, that whatever you try to do to pick up, there's going to be a collision on the way back. So put one here, put one here. I could put the calcification here, and maybe extend this in such a way that we could hit all of these. Doesn't really seem that doable. Like, we once again have hit theory more than practical actual execution. In theory, I could put one here with this, then turn around and put one here, as this one is taking a little bit longer to get to that point. Then That could take that, and that could take that, and then bring it to this point and spin it to get both of those components turned to salt. Let's see. But I just think it's not worth the actual coding to try and reach that. Just have to wait way longer. And you could save yourself, I think, money on this point, and you could reduce the amount of spin because it's just not going to happen that fast. See, repeat instructions. In this case, is kind of what you want to do, but I would have to delay it enough so that this point here was past this point. So just like major delays. And I would have to drop this piece. So it would be something kind of like this and this, and then the rest of the code just have to be redone. Pick up, rotate one, rotate that, rotate that, and then at that point drop, go forward to pick up, go -1, go forward 2, and then reset. And we've run into the exact same problem again. Like, as soon as we take this piece off, this would have to go here. Which I suppose I could try and go the other direction. And just totally spin it the other direction. Which, at a certain point, that makes the argument to have the piece there. That one, in favor of that one, and that one. So I go there, there, And there. That's 3. I think we need 4. We may need 5. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And positive. Still a collision. Wow. So we'd have to move it theoretically 1 further to the right, which we can't do until we extend it there. Why does me extending the instructions mess up the code? And you know what's crazier? When I think about it, you would get rid of this code too. Save yourself a little bit of gold. Put this here. Put this one here so that it would rotate to this point. And then here. And then you would overlap it so that you could rotate things. So yeah. Because from this point, you could put one here, and you could put that here, and then you could pivot it so it's touching that and not even using up any area. And then you could come back this way, pick up the other one, pick it up here, drop it, pick this up, and then you could take it all the way here and then start pivoting it into place. And then at a certain point, as long as things are not in the way, this could hit this. I think we were doing this, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, my instincts are telling me that this is the solution, and if you're gonna do it that way, then my instincts tell me that that is the real solution. And yeah, that does mean at some point you're gonna either use this piece or this piece. Probably not needed to use both. To save some space. But yeah, I don't want to work on that. It's been nearly 2 hours and 30 minutes. The tonic that keeps the body warm. If you don't mind, could you make some extras of these? Of this? What are you trying to make a few extra gilder on the side? Not everything I do is for money. Do you have any idea how many people could use something like this? Oh, I understand. You people from the houses can be so tremendously ignorant sometimes. It's a shame we can't make more. You'd never make enough. Alright, so fairly late into chapter 3, we're getting the kind of like backstory of course, there is a impoverished lower class of some level, even in the bright, shining lights and in the world where alchemy / magic, regardless of whether they want to admit it's magic or not, exists. Like, theoretically, with an engine that performs alchemy, you would be able to take something like a water purifier puzzle, for instance, like you would be able to take something like this and just force it and to only be able to do that one thing, and then give a alchemy transmutation engine to lots of people. Maybe not everybody gets an alchemy table, but certainly you could spread, even without educating people, spread the benefits. Or you could create giant alchemy engines that would just make massive amounts of items and helpful things. Of course, there is a danger in the story that House Colvane that killed our house, maybe that's what the new guy in charge wants, is a doing away of the old ways in the sense of kind of a feudal system and a class system. And wouldn't it be ironic if somehow they were able to tell a story in the last 2 or 3 chapters where the person we're robbing right now and seeking revenge on actually is trying to better the world, and our house was simply too stuck in its old ways for that to happen. If you were going to make true political change, it's not uncommon to have to get rid of the old bureaucrats who don't want change to happen, and it's not uncommon for the only way to get rid of those bureaucrats is to do it via a bloody coup or overturning them. It seems like to me we have 2 more puzzles in this chapter, and then we'll just get another line of dialogue. Again, I could try and play Sigmar's Garden, but at this rate, I am not sure I would even want to spend the time to get to 10 victories. I think what you want to do is probably play very fast, and that's kind of strange for a solitaire game. Like, generally speaking, people who are playing solitaire games want to be able to move at their own pace. But since this does seem like this is just going to straight up be a numbers game, then I guess that's what you do. Just continuously get the metals out of the way as fast as possible. It's kind of a small number of marbles that end up on the board also. I would kind of expect to see more. Alright, well, here's the big ticket. I think you drastically increase your chances of success if you end a game with 2 salts. What's funny is this is giving me progress on achievements and popping them up like you're getting a new achievement, but you really aren't. Most achievements on Steam don't work that way, where you would feel like you're getting an achievement and then realize you actually aren't. I've only unlocked 1 achievement, and I think I would have to get at least 6 more victories before I saw another. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.